that's how I ended up in the self-development rabbit hole, obsessing over finding my purpose. But the more I searched for it, the more frustrated and lost I actually felt. Until one day, I let go of that obsession and I made one simple shift.
Hey there, welcome back to the Mischief Movement podcast. I'm Zoe, your guide on this journey to shake up the status quo and design a life that truly makes you feel alive. If you've ever felt disconnected, stuck on autopilot, or trapped in a life that feels more like a treadmill than an adventure, you're in the right place. I know that change can feel scary, so let's turn down the fear and crank up the fierce as we transform your life from the inside out. Whether it's solo episodes packed with actionable advice or interviews with some absolute badass human beings who've dared to defy the norm by living life their way, we're here to inspire, activate, empower, and challenge you each week. My mission is simple: to help you reawaken your rebel spirit, break free from mediocrity, and design a life that's anything but dull. You only get one wild life, so what are you planning to do with yours? If you're ready to stop settling, start living boldly, and create a positive impact along the way, let's dive in and stir up some mischief together. Now buckle up and let's go.
Hey rebels, welcome back to the Mischief Movement podcast, the place for creative rebels, misfits, and you quiet revolutionaries who know deep down that you're here to disrupt the ordinary and design a life that makes you feel alive. So last week we talked about the power of quiet thunder, that calm, confident rebellion that changes everything. But today we're going a bit deeper, because if you're here listening to this, I know something about you. You're not lazy, you're not broken, and you're definitely not too much. You've just been stuck in the wrong system. And I get it, because after losing my job as a designer in 2011, I spent the next 6 years trying to fit into a world that wasn't really made for me. I took any job I could get, from office work to retail assistant, and honestly, I was miserable. I felt like my potential was just being wasted. I even got sacked from a job in a shop once. True story. Part of me found it funny, and part of me thought, fuck's sake, am I not even good enough to hold down a job in a shop? I eventually ended up teaching English, and which paid better and gave me more time, but I still felt trapped. I was really looking forward to maternity leave just so I didn't have to go to work anymore. That's how stuck I was. I knew exactly what I didn't want, but the problem was I had no idea what I did want. And that's how I ended up in the self-development rabbit hole, obsessing over finding my purpose. But the more I searched for it, the more frustrated and lost I actually felt. Until one day, I let go of that obsession and I made one simple shift. I stopped chasing my purpose and I started following my curiosity and joy. That's what led me to accept an invite to Camp VC, which, if you don't know already, is a women's motorcycle and adventure festival. And I flew to the UK. I spent the weekend surrounded by badass women riding motorbikes, doing all kinds of activities, laughing, living, putting themselves out of their comfort zone. That was the moment that I think I reawakened my rebel spirit. I wasn't broken. I'd just been forcing myself to live in a way that wasn't made for people like me. And I know that if you're here, you probably feel that too. Here's what no one tells you about creative misfits, quiet rebels, and people who feel like they're meant for more. I think we're actually wired a bit differently. We're not meant to follow the path that society lays out for us. I think we're meant to create our own. And science backs this up. The brain's curiosity loop shows that when you follow what excites you, even in small ways, you actually rewire your brain for more confidence, clarity, and creativity. In other words, you don't find your purpose, you create it by doing what makes you feel alive. As Marie Forleo says, clarity comes from action, not thought. And that's exactly what I want to guide you through right now. So this episode is slightly different because I'm going to take you through a guided visualization. Now, I know it's not your usual episode, but you know me, I do like to shake things up every now and again and experiment. So if this isn't for you, don't worry, skip forward, grab the end of the episode or even the next episode. However, I'd urge you to stay with me and go through this guided visualization if you can relate to anything that I've just said. Okay? Right. Let's start by closing our eyes, unless you're driving or riding a motorbike, obviously. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths. Now, I'm often told I do have quite a relaxing voice, so let's see if it can work its magic for you here today. Just start to ground into this moment, and I want you to imagine that you're stepping into an old underground club, the kind that's dimly lit with neon lights and raw energy. The air smells like adventure and rebellion. The music feels like freedom. Somewhere in the shadows, your future self is already waiting for you. They look effortless, magnetic, unapologetically alive. And as you head over to meet them, you take in their appearance, their air of confidence, and their knowing smile. They've already done all the things you're afraid to do. They've built the life you secretly dream about. And they're here now to guide you. What question do you want to ask them? And how do they respond? Just take a minute to imagine the scene. Try out different versions too if you like, and see which one really hits the spot. When you've chatted for a few minutes, your future self hands you something. It's a small, worn leather-bound notebook. You open it, and written inside are these words. Your purpose isn't something you find. It's something you create when you finally start living how you were meant to. Your future self smirks and says, "You already know what to do. You've just been waiting for permission to do it." And with that, they disappear back into the crowd. You step back out into the night and take another look at the message in the notebook. You can feel something stir inside of you as you reread the words. It's your spark, and it's been reignited. As you slip the notebook into the back pocket of your jeans, you decide it's the moment you've been waiting for, and you're ready to take one bold, rebellious action today. What's it going to be? Your mind starts to mull over that next step as you head away from the club entrance and make your way along the dimly lit street towards home. So what did you think? I hope you enjoyed that. I want you to grab a notebook, or at least pick up your phone and open your notes app and write down 3 things that light you up, even if they make absolutely no sense. Maybe it's art, maybe it's motorcycles, maybe it's helping people, it could be traveling, throwing epic parties, I don't know, but whatever it is, follow that curiosity, because that's where your purpose starts to unfold. And if I can pass on anything useful to you at all, if you are in that place of just taking this search for your purpose too seriously, like I was, then switch your attention from finding meaning in everyday life to what would really be fun, because that's where things started to shift for me. I realized that I had just been so obsessive about this searching for my purpose that it stopped being fun. It started out as me being curious and wanting to explore things, but it just got to the point where it sucked all the joy out of it because I just got frustrated, just really frustrated. So I just flipped it on its head and thought, what am I actually lacking right now? What would make me feel good? And it was fun. I really wanted more fun and less seriousness. I mean, there's a lot more to this discussion than a short podcast episode, because at the same point, I also was a new mum, and I think I was struggling a little bit being at home all the time with a baby. But just trying to focus on the fun gave me something else to think about, and it made life a bit lighter. I was so aware that, especially since I'd become a parent, I had just become really serious. So I didn't like it. I wanted to bring back some of my spark and some of that joy. And, that's when I said, right, I'm going to go for the mischief. Where can I add more fun? Where can I find more fun? Where can I bring a little bit of positive disruption that would also create an impact for other people? Anyway, I have got something new coming soon that will help you to fully rewire your mindset for rebellion, and hopefully get you increasing that self-belief as well. If you want to be first to access my upcoming audio activation when it drops, DM me the words Rebel Rising on Instagram, or you can always sign up to the Mischief Mail and you will be the first to know when it comes out. Your time, right, is now. You spent long enough trying to fit in. It's time to disrupt the ordinary. And I'm not saying that we can't be grateful for ordinary moments. I'm just talking about when life stops being an adventure and starts feeling like a treadmill that you can't get off. So I'm here to make sure that you do find your way off. I will catch you next week.
That's a wrap on another episode of the Mischief Movement podcast. If today's content stirred something in you, let's keep in touch on Instagram or connect with me on LinkedIn. You can even click the link in the show notes to sign up to my Mischief Mail newsletter, where you'll get exclusive insights on upcoming episodes and your chance to submit questions to future guests. But shh, don't tell anyone, it's our secret. For more info on ways to work with me and some fun free resources, check out the website themischiefmovement.com. Until next time, stay bold, stay rebellious, and of course, keep making mischief.